So I told Elizabeth Rogers and I told Dean Hudson, Richard Hudson of Spalding University, that I got molested by a professor. So a white female, ugly, big, disgusting, mean. For 3 hours, she would make like 5 of us sit in a computer lab, all separated, nobody talking to each other, and just listen to her lecture about what the fuck ever for 3 fucking hours. We never talked to each other. We rarely had any discussions. We didn't talk to her at all. She even said something about, sometimes I can learn from the students. Sometimes. Really? You're that fucking brilliant. You know every goddamn thing out there? Yeah, well, sometimes I fucking learn from you, but not really. So she had molested me. Saturday I had to make up an assignment, so I go there, and while I'm working on the assignment, she's sitting there telling me, click on this thing. I'm in her office. She has me sit in her chair. She's like, click on this thing, click on that thing, and I'm doing all that she wants to do. But even then, okay, when she started ordering me around like a bitch-ass nobody's slave, I felt like that was a molestation. That felt fucking gross to me. I wanted to say no. No, why can't you just ask me to do this? Why can't you just ask me to do... Why do you have to fucking order me around like a goddamn asshole? So as she's ordering me around, click on this, click on that, then she starts putting her hand on my leg. She starts lightly brushing it, a little bit nice, a little bit, a little bit more effort onto it, and just keeps on doing it. So, that's who these fucking people are. They're molester oppressors. And I told Karen Dunnigan this exact same thing. I said that an oppressor is just one order away from being a molester. When you give somebody 100% power, and that's what they believe in, 100% compliance, when you give them 100% power over somebody else, it's not that hard to think that one more order, hey, come into this closet with me, right? Or another order, hey, why don't you come into my fucking office so I can tell you what to do on my computer screen so I can touch your leg. Now, if I would have said that stuff, if I would have said, if they would have said to me, they stole $50,000 because they said that I didn't do my student teaching right, because she was a fucking asshole, she was a bully, and she was always fucking with me, and so I tried to do everything she told me to do. I wasn't mean to her or anything, but the idea, that it's okay to oppress and then to molest people is fucking sick. So, I'm supposed to be an obedient fucking, slave to the Julie Chancellor and shit. But I'm terrified. Like, I'm going to do everything you say, and then you're going to fuck me over. That's what the fuck y'all do. It doesn't get respect. I do what the fuck you say. You don't respect me. You fucking disrespect me. You got me at my compliance through disrespect by being shitty to me. So these are oppressor molesters. I told Karen Dunnigan that an oppressor is one order away from being a molester. And then she looked at me all stunned, like, what did you say? And then she looked at me like I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. And then I got molested. So, if I had one mother... Karen Dunnigan's a fat fucking ugly fucking piece of shit. Her soul is fucking dirty. She didn't give a shit about me whatsoever. She only cared about me enough to get me into the program. And then as soon as I get into the program, she turned into a fucking psycho. And that's bullshit. She says your spirituality is going to be developed, and then she went on and said about smashing my spirit. And then when I have no spirit and soul for 3.5 years, I'm walking around like a goddamn zombie because I'm a stupid bitch-ass slave nobody. Go to fucking school, I look at other fucking people, I feel like this should be a common experience that we all could fucking talk about, but it's not. They're just being fucking, they're just being good students. And the only way those students got to the fucking graduate level was by being fucking kiss-ass, unethical, immoral, just obedient motherfuckers. And so because they're kiss-ass, obedient motherfuckers, they look at me when I say an independent idea like I'm crazy. So I stopped saying independent ideas, and instead I just started kissing. Y'all want to kiss the fucking professor's ass? Fine. I'll fucking out-kiss her fucking ass. And that's what the fuck I did. And so, I had like two roles at Spalding University. One was to be the person who speaks up when, something needs to be spoken up about. But two, to be more fucking submissive and more obedient than the assholes. Those assholes were so desperate to make me somebody different than them, I started acting like you all. Y'all want to do what the fucking professor says as soon as they fucking order and just do it like it's, massa is the best, greatest fucking thing since sliced cake? Alright, then I'll fucking do it too. If I'm the teacher, they'd be kissing my fucking ass, but because I sat next to them, they had nothing but disrespect. And of course, the teacher, professor, oppressor, molesters love that shit. They love that shit. They love it. They do, though. They love when the slaves fight for their love. They're sadistic psychopaths who don't have a soul, so they like to see other people's pain. When the other people are in pain, that makes them feel alive. And when that people that's in pain hurt them, that makes them feel more alive. And unfortunately, that's all they could feel is pain. Other people's pain brings them pleasure. They get their jollies off of fucking hurting others. So these oppressor molesters, it made no sense. Basically, I felt like I was racking my brain because I didn't have the language to sort of explain to convince them, but they didn't want to be convinced. They didn't want to be convinced. They didn't want anything to be explained to them. So why the fuck educate them assholes? I'm giving them a fucking education when they didn't even give me one. Which is a good ass line, and it's fucking true too. You know, when I speak up and I say, hey, how come we have no democracy? That's a big fucking point. Why don't we have any democracy? Why don't we treat each other the way we should be treated? Why don't the will of the people in the classroom win over? Even in my democracy class, it was still a dictatorship. You want to teach democracy? Why don't you actually get us on a bicycle and start fucking riding it? Let's get into some democracy. Let's see what democracy actually looks like. Oh, no, no, no. Democracy is best when a dictator tells you what democracy is. Nah, that ain't democracy. You don't even know what fucking democracy is. So, we're paranoid because we know we deserve the worst and we assume everyone else sees it too. These psychos, Julie Chancellor knows she's a dickhead. She knows she's a fucking asshole. Elizabeth Rogers knows she's a dickhead. She admitted to being a bitch. And why would someone admit to being a bitch? If being a bitch is such a bad fucking thing when I say it, but she admits to it like it's a point of fucking pride. Yeah, I'm mean to other people. I'm a bitch. That's my pride. I'm, you know, and it makes me sound like, or it makes it sound like a fucking male when he brags about, I'm an asshole. That's the way it is. I'm an asshole. I'm a dick. So what? What can I fucking do about it? Oh, well, who cares? I'm a dick. That's a psycho. That's a person who can't empathize with others. And, you know, maybe at a job site you need that type of efficiency, but at a fucking school, when we're supposed to be learning about shit and talking to each other and questioning ideas and talking, you know what I mean? I'm not encouraged to question or talk about this shit. No dialogue. Shut the fuck up. Sit down. Do as the fuck as you're told. This is teacher training, which means you're a student, so shut the fuck up. You want me to be a teacher, put me on the bicycle and get me to start fucking riding, but you just want me to be a student all my life, make sure I sit down in the class and I never participate in the conversation. That's Spalding University. Spalding University does not give a fuck about their students. They don't give a fuck about any of their students at all. They're manipulative to all of them, and if you're not going to be an obedient fucking, you know, manipulated piece of shit, then they'll fuck you over. And why do they fuck you over if you're, you know, like if I talk about democracy and I talk very eloquently about, you know, the oppressors and the oppressed and the Prussian industrial education system, so I talk about these different ideas. And I feel like maybe I shouldn't have because they know I question things. So it's like, wait a second, you question things? Well, then you probably can't be a fascist fucking piece of shit teacher like us. Yeah, you're right. I can't be a fascist piece of shit teacher like you. I can educate and teach people things, but I don't have to be an asshole in order to do it. And I don't know why being an asshole, that doesn't, the only thing that you need to learn something is a new piece of information that you didn't have before, or a new talent or a new skill that you didn't have before. That's how learning happens. It's weird to fucking explain it like that, but that's how learning happens. So to be an asshole, to give some people information, maybe they know, maybe they don't know. Who gives a shit? Shut the fuck up and just listen. You're not teaching anybody anything. You might trip over an idea here and there, but for the most part, you're not saying a goddamn thing, except for you guys are nobody and I'm a somebody. So these are oppressor molesters when they fucking fucked me over out of $50,000 and let me get sexually harassed, and they fucking manipulated and treated me like shit for 3 hours a fucking day, you know, every fucking day in the week, every of the month and shit. It makes no sense. It makes no sense, like, logically, why they would do that. But if you think of them as psychos who don't give a shit, who have no heart, who have no soul, who get pleasure from pain, it makes total sense. They didn't want to listen to me because they get pleasure from my pain. They wanted me to get fucked over because that's it. And then you accuse somebody of something, and I'm not allowed to get mad, but if I get mad about it, I'm fucked. So basically, it's a catch-22. You're a bastard. I'm not a bastard, you're a bastard. Well, since you call me a bastard, I guess you're gone. No back-talking me. Oh, really? Back-talk? What's back-talk? You told me what to fucking do, and I said, go fuck yourself? Well, back-talk should be normal. and very much part of the American fucking language and the way people talk to each other. So we don't hate you. We hate how much we love you. We hate how much we need you. And that's it. They wanted me to be in their fucking lives forever. And they wanted to do it by fucking being an oppressive fucking dickhead. Nah, that's not how I roll. You wanted to do some punitive damage on me? No, that's not how I roll. Y'all fucked with me too much. Too many times. And now you want to put a file on me? I'll give another fucking... I was doing St. Joseph's. Teaching Catholicism. Confirmation class at St. Joseph. And for the last class, I just want to discover spirituality. And so I just said, okay, what do y'all want to do? And then they want to go to the basketball court. And while I was at the basketball court, we're looking at the rafters. And I was like, I wonder what's up there. And then I said, why don't y'all go up there and check? And then they did. And then, you know, the female, Christina, she comes in. And she was like, eventually she yells at me about it. But I heard she was coming in. I took off running. Which I had been watching them. I was underneath them the whole time. They weren't in any danger whatsoever. But when I took off running, she come into class and I was like, where y'all been? And I was totally fucking kidding. I was totally playful and joking and shit. But she was all fucking serious as a heart attack. And we didn't have a conversation then and there. So she wrote me an email. And it was like, now you're reprimanding me. You're writing a fucking incident report and you're reprimanding me. Because you couldn't fucking say what the fuck was up. And they weren't in danger. They're doing their spirituality. So what? They got on the rafters. It's our fucking church, and they act like it's theirs. And so until the fucking property and the buildings can be viewed as ours, you know, there's a logic. There's a method to my madness. I have you know, reasons for the things that I do. But when she fucking did the report and she's reprimanding me, man, I only fucking teach 1 hour Sunday school every fucking week. For like, you know, 6 weeks or so, or 7, 8 weeks. And she wants to fucking do a written reprimand. Like we at school, and she's the principal, and she needs to do a written reprimand on me. No, you're not going to do a written reprimand on me. You don't want to do that shit? Go fuck yourself. I don't know where to go from this. I feel like you're being a dickhole, and you're fucking accusing me of shit. And if I start accusing you of shit, you'd be mad about it too. So... this is just going to escalate until one of us is fucking dead. And I don't want to kill you. And I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to educate you. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm doing this for my own goddamn free time, my volunteer time. Bicycling all the way there. And you're going to reprimand me? Go fuck yourself. She ruined the entire relationship there. I loved Christina. My God, I would have married her. But she just wanted to control me and manipulate me. And she felt comfortable if she was the one that was in control. I don't want to make anybody feel comfortable being in control anymore. Nah, you're not the one that's in control. Nah, sorry. You want to sit there and tell me that I'm combative and argumentative and shit? You're the one telling me that I ain't shit, so I fucking do as the fuck is what you tell me to do. And I don't like it. I don't like that. So we hate how scared we are. We spend our life in a state of constant self-defense until, if we're lucky, we get to the point where we can't defend anymore. So she eventually leads, you know, just give it to God and everything will be good. So I think that's good to like to deal with some of your issues. But I think if you really want to deal with them, you got to open up the issues and deal with them. Just giving it all to God is irresponsible. It's just like, I'm going to forget all my troubles and problems, and then I'm just going to give it to somebody else, right? And then everything will be fine. And that's nice if we could actually just do something like that. But I feel, you know, with my own life, the only way I'm going to get past any of my problems, since I don't believe in God, is that I'm going to have to, you know, I'm going to have to do something different. And since I'm going to have to do something different, let's see, I'm going to have to solve my problems. That's what I'm going to have to do. I think that if people have been fucking with me like oppressor molesters, and I don't understand why they're doing it, I need to understand, and I need to not expect them to be ever decent, good people. You can't force people to love. You can't force people to do what you want them to do. So if people want to be dickheads and want to be shitty, the only thing I can do is make sure they're not being dickholes or shitty to me or anybody else around me. I don't have to be around them. I don't have to hang out with them. I don't have to be, you know what I mean? So instead of actually like dying for the oppressor molesters to love me, I'm never going to get my enemies to love me, especially the oppressor molesters. They're going to hate me because I philosophically hate their position in this world. Julie Chancellor, I think you're fucking up more kids and you're hurting more people than what you're helping. Julie Chancellor, I think you're an asshole. And this ain't Julie Chancellor. This is a good person. This lady here is the one who wrote Morgan Hancock. and she's a recovering bully. And so she's the one that she's saying at one time she used to be an oppressor, and she understands how the oppressors think. What they're thinking is not that they hate you or that they hurt you or they want you to be, they probably don't, I don't even think they want to manipulate you, but fear of being called out, of being abandoned, of being afraid, of realizing that those that you love can succeed and do well without you. The best thing is to injure them and make sure that they always stay with you and feel like they need you. So if they get to be confident that they don't need you, that they're smart and capable and independent and can do for themselves, then an oppressor is going to do anything and everything to make sure that that motherfucker gets back in line. And that's fucking bullshit. They don't actually truly care about you, and it sucks because they do love you in their heart. In their heart, they love you, but their actions and their behaviors to oppress and to molest. Their actions and their behaviors tell you to shut up, sit down, and that's all that they give a shit about. So when we control you, it's because we're fearful too much freedom may allow that you don't really need us anymore. When we hurt you and intimidate you, it's because we hope that by keeping your head down, you'll never be able to look up. Because we make fun of your friends and families because our hearts are wrenching with the jealousy for that kind of love. The oppressors just hate anything good and positive in your life. And the good and positive in their life where they will kill and destroy just so they can always have you as their personal little slave. And they like you being an obedient little slave and just listening to them like they're fucking gods and, they need. But who wouldn't like something like that? But nobody's infallible. Nobody's a total fucking perfect knowing God. Nobody is. So if you think that you're hanging out with old daddy who's in Mr. Know-It-All, that's man shit. Man shit is to pretend like you fucking know it all, so that way everybody always has to be begging for your they always have to be begging for your fucking approval and love. So if you have other people that loves you, well shit, you don't really need me then, do you? You got other people who love you. You don't need me. And I don't know how else to keep you in my life. So, either I have to oppress you or I have to let you love other people. And I just can't let I just can't let you love. I can't let other people love you. No, I cannot let anybody else love you. And, I think a part of it is sort of, I don't know. I mean, okay, so let's take the oppressor and the oppressed. What if the oppressed truly, I don't know, the oppressed do love the oppressors. That's why they do what the oppressor tells them what to do. But if they truly love their oppressor, they would knock the oppressor on their ass and say, you're not going to treat me like this no more because we need to start treating each other nicer and kinder. You can't control me like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing because I know what I'm doing. I've been on this planet for a long time. So you need to, I care about you and I love you, but you can't be jealous. You can't be hurting me. You can't be doing these things anymore. So if the oppressed truly love their oppressors, then they would fucking knock them on their fucking ass and tell them that they're fucking stupid. So just like, Elizabeth Rogers' husband who calls her a bitch, he said he doesn't call her a bitch all the time. He just asked her one time, why are you being such a bitch? And then I was like, can you be such a bitch? And she kind of giggled about it. And yeah, I can be a bitch. No, I think you are. Like, you're a heartless bitch. You're an evil asshole, right? A bitch is just a female version of an asshole. So, or a dick, right? Oh, he's such a dick. Oh, she's such a bitch. That just means you're a jerk. You're a female or male jerk. That's what those words mean. And that's not a good thing. So people that are taking pride in being a jerk, you're taking pride in hurting people. That's not something you should be proud of. So it goes to the pride, right? When you see a man with pride, it's not if you see a prideful man, because you can be proud of anything. But if you're proud that you're hurting people, I had an aunt, or I still have an aunt, Rosie, but she had a husband who used to beat the shit out of her, then show the black eyes to his friends. Look what I did to her. Nah, I fucking put that black eye on her and showed it off. So that type of pride is sick. He got fucking pleasure out of her pain. And then he saw a black eye and fucking showed it off to everybody. He got pleasure out of her pain. That their fucking oppressor molesters are sick, sadistic. They have no souls. They have nothing going on themselves. They're insecure. They might be stupid. They might not be smart. They might think that you got more talents or just talented enough. And so they want to make sure you stay down so that way you always stay their slave. They want to love you and they want you to be strong and they want you to do things because that's what they love about you. But they can't say that, and they can't build you up that way. They have to make you think that you need them when you don't need them. So we hate how ugly we are, how weak we are, how broken we are, how lost and desperate we are. We hate how scared we are. Oh, it's such a good, it's so well written, okay? We hate how scared we are. We hate how ugly we are. Julie Chancer's fucking ugly. Elizabeth Rogers, you're fucking ugly. You're fucking weak. You're fucking broken. You're lost, and you're desperate. You have no idea. You've been hurting people all your life, and you have no idea why. You're ugly as fucking sin. You're weak as all fucking hell. You're broken, lost, and desperate. So, you know, she stole $50,000, and I kept calling her, thinking that she would just eventually just come to her fucking senses and actually, you know, do what's right. And then eventually she didn't. So I challenged her to a fight, and I said, you know, let's do a pay-per-view UFC. Let's have a pay-per-view event. Let's get her to a fight, right? So and all I was saying with that, it's stupid, but I feel like I wasn't just challenging her to a fight. I'm challenging her and all the men around her in her life, right? But also, I felt as though all I was saying was like, all right, fine. You're an oppressor molester. You have no heart. You're a sadistic psychopath. You're pure fucking wickedness. You stole $50,000 away from me, and it seems like you might get away with it. But I can still kick your ass. So just know that. That's nothing. That's nothing. I'm bigger than her. I can beat up someone smaller than me. That's nothing. But she took it as terroristic threatening. No, it's not terroristic threatening. It's just a fucking fact. You stole $50,000. You deserve an ass kicking. Yes, you do. And just because I got a penis, I'm not allowed to give it to you. But I got sisters and I got cousins, right? And they'll fucking clean the floor with your dumb ass. $50,000, you're going to fucking rob $50,000? If my wife got robbed of $50,000 and it was a guy that did it, you're goddamn right I'd beat the fuck out of him. And then I'd sue him and get my money. I would get an ass kicking and I'd get my money back. But because she's got a vagina, because I have a penis, she's allowed to fucking be a bitch. She's allowed to steal from me. She's allowed to be emotional. She's allowed to put all of her shit out on the fucking table. And then other fucking oppressor molesters fucking believe in her. And then the oppressor molesters all fucking get right by each other. And they fucking, you know, give each other validation and make sure that they, you know, they don't lose their minds. Which they should, right? Because they're fucking ugly. They're weak. They're broken. They're lost. And they're desperate. And you met up with a fucking, I mean, God, I feel like I don't want to say I'm it, but I feel like I have a lot of great qualities. I think I could be a great governor, a great mayor, a great teacher, great father. There's so many great things that I could fucking be out here. If I had people that support me and loving me. As long as I got people who wants to be my oppressor molesters and who want to manipulate me and shut up, sit down, do as the fuck as you're told, I won't ever get anywhere in life. You need to teach me how to peacefully assert myself. Peacefully and intellectually assert myself. But you're against that because you just want me to be a slave. And how am I supposed to be a teacher who stands up and talks when you're teaching me to be a sit down, shut up student? I need to learn to stand up and speak up, and that's the only way I'm going to learn how to teach, by running the classroom, by getting on the bicycle and pedaling. And I only had 2 chances to ride that bicycle, 2 10-minute chances. And I got heckled down. And then I had 3-day chance to fucking run a class. If Julie Chancer would get the fuck out of the class, that classroom, I would have owned it. I would have done well. But because she was in the mix, and because she's an oppressor molester who just wants to fuck with people and she loves pain, she gets her jollies off of fucking hurting people. She's a sadistic psychopath who has no fucking soul, no heart. And she only can fucking feel the pain she puts on others or the pain she gets herself. That's why she is who she is. That's why she hated on me. That's why she was such a jerk to me. Because I'm talented. I'm fucking sleek. I'm, you know, fairly good looking. I was dressed nice. So if you have a fucking teacher that goes into school that you're working at that's treating the students as people, that is going to create a lot of resentment and jealousy from all these other oppressor molester teachers out there. The teacher training schools are teaching these goddamn fucking teachers to be oppressor molesters. Why do bullying happen? Because they're the fucking bullies. Why does molestation happen? Because the teachers have 100% of the power and students have 0% of the power. Power should be shared. And that's what a democracy is when we share power. And also, you know, that's the only way they're going to get anywhere, by knowing how to assert themselves peacefully and intellectually in the world. If they can't assert themselves peacefully and intellectually in the world, you're leaving them in a world of shit, in a world of hurt. You're leaving them in a confused fucking mental state. And they'll never fucking do good or do right. They'll always fucking believe the words you said, but you didn't love them or care about them. So they're going to believe the words of an oppressor molester when truly that oppressor molester didn't give a fuck at all. So they hate how much they need you. They hate how much they love you. They hate how ugly they are. They hate how weak they are. They hate how broken they are. They hate how lost and desperate they are. That's absolutely right. These motherfuckers are lost and desperate and weak and ugly and broken. And they love me, which is why they hate me. They need me, which is why they hate me. They have to manipulate and control me to be able to hold on to me and to keep me. But because I'm talented and I'm smart, and because they don't own me, they feel like they gotta fucking go over, above, and beyond in order to smash me into submission, so that way I'll go back to being a fucking slave to them for the rest of my life. And they'd feel good about that. They wouldn't do what I told them to do because they understand they don't want to be a fucking slave. You're my slave. I'm not your slave. No, nobody is a fucking slave. So I'm going to end off with some Krishna quotes. Because Krishna, a lot of people look for, religion, Jesus, Christianity to find their comfort. I got yoga and meditation. But Krishna, I was reading a lot of stuff by Krishna. I thought of Jesus when I was reading some of his stuff. So I'm going to just read some of this stuff because I'm sure they're inspirational. And I'm sure they're, Krishna's been the religion, Mithricism. It's been around for quite some time. Krishnaism? I don't know. So strive to still your thoughts. Make your mind one-pointed in meditation. So Krishna is all about meditation. I think prayer is meditation too. Strive to still your thoughts. Make your mind one-pointed in meditation. When a person is devoted to something with complete faith, I unify his faith in that. Then when his faith is completely unified, he gains the object of his devotion. So you just have faith that you're going to do well and that everything's going to be okay. And then it says that he unifies his faith in that. So you have complete faith, and then you you go with the faith. Back up with the faith. You say, I'm going to be governor, and I have faith that I'm going to be governor, and I'm going to fucking devote myself to this faith that I'm going to succeed and win. And even though it not always works, that's the only way that I think it could get you to move forward, right? It's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to become governor. Fuck it, who cares? No. Have faith that you're going to do it, and then strive, and then get it, and win it. On this path, effort never goes to waste, and there is no failure. Even a little effort towards spiritual awareness will protect you from the greatest fear. On this path, effort never goes to waste, and there is no failure. Even a little effort towards spiritual awareness will protect you from the greatest fear. That's great, man. So saying baby steps. If you take one step towards your spiritual life in the right direction, then you'll do okay. You'll be all right. So there's no failure. You do your damnedest. You work hard all day. You did what you could, and that's it. You can't do any more than your best, and anybody that expects any more than your best, even if you're yourself. Some people need to start loving themselves, and they need to start being so damn hard on themselves. Strive constantly to serve the welfare of the world by devotion to selfless work. One attains the supreme goal of life. Do your work with the welfare of others always in mind. And that's true. I think, I act locally but think globally. It's better to strive in one's own dharma than to succeed in the dharma of another. Nothing is ever lost in following one's own dharma, but competition in another's dharma breeds fear and insecurity. So basically, everybody's got to find their own self and their own direction and in their own ways. But I'm listening to Krishna tell me this, so I'm needing somebody to tell me this stuff, right? So I don't know. I think you can find yourself in other people. I think that's how marriage actually works. Is that you know yourself and you know the other person, but when you get together, you're going to become a different person. Like in 7 years or so, you'll be a different person, and that's okay. I think that means you growed and you progressed, right? Unless you degressed and fucking, one of y'all had bad habits and you just degressed to her bad habits. There's something up here that I was talking about that I wanted to look at more. No, I guess not. Strive constantly to serve the welfare of the world by devotion to selfless work. One attains the supreme goal of life. Do your work with the welfare of others always in mind. He alone who truly sees the Lord the same in every creature, seeing the same Lord everywhere, he does not harm himself or others. So that's Jesus-like, right? So he's basically saying that a person who sees Jesus in every living creature, because we're all one, we're all living creatures, right? We're all made by God, if you want to use Christianity. So if you can see the Lord, not just in yourself and in your children and in your neighbor, but if you see the Lord in every living object, then you will see that spiritual oneness connection. I feel that spiritual oneness connection with all living things in the entire ecosystem of the globe, of the entire earth. So it's better to perform one's own duties imperfectly than to master the duties of another. By fulfilling the obligations he's born with, a person never comes to grief. That's interesting. I think it's kind of justifying slavery in some respects, but it might also just be justifying people who, you know, like I maybe I'm only built to be a speaker or a comedian, and I'm not built to, you know, build a house. But I think I can build a house too. So really, it's just whatever I focus on. So I don't know if anybody we should segregate duties. We should all do all that we can, and realize that some people might be, you know, higher intellectual than us, but that just means they think better than us. If anything, they got the advantage compared to some dumb fucking person. So no one should abandon duties because he sees defects in them. Every action, every activity is surrounded by defects, as a fire surrounded by smoke. Reshape yourself through the power of your will. Those who have conquered themselves live in peace, alike in cold and heat, pleasure and pain, praise and blame. To such people, a clod of dirt, a stone and gold are the same. Because they're impartial, they rise to great heights. The awakened sages call a person wise when all his undertakings are free from anxiety about results. It's better to strive in one's own dharma than to succeed in the dharma of another. The demonic do things they should avoid and avoid the things they should do, which is fucking fascinating, because I think they're demonic. An oppressor, molester is demonic. Hypocritical, proud, and arrogant, living in delusion and clinging to the deluded ideas, insatiable in their desires, they pursue unclean ends. Bound on all sides by scheming and anxiety, driven by anger and greed, they amass by any means they can hoard of money for the satisfaction of their craving. Self-important, obstinate, swept away by the pride of wealth, they ostentatiously perform sacrifices without any regard for their purpose. Egotistical, violent, arrogant, lustful, angry, envious of everyone, they abuse my presence within their own bodies and in the bodies of others. Abandon all attachment to the results of action and attain some supreme peace. Abandon all attachment to the results of action and attain supreme peace. Those who eat too much or eat too little, who sleep too much or sleep too little, will not succeed in meditation. But those who are temperate in eating and sleeping, work and recreation, will come to the end of sorrow through meditation. When meditation is mastered, the mind is unwavering like the flame of a lamp in a windless place. When meditation is mastered, the mind is unwavering. So I gotta fucking master my meditation and my yoga. Those who eat too little or too much, who sleep too little too much, will not succeed in meditation. Those who are temperate in eating and sleeping, work and recreation, will come to the end of sorrow through meditation. Wow! Oh, that's good. Abandon all attachments to the results of action and attain supreme peace. So here's my action, and if I don't get the results that I want, if I don't worry about it, then I'll get peace. I tried, I didn't get it. All right, let's try something else. Those who eat too much or eat too little, who sleep too much or sleep too little, will not succeed in meditation. Those who are temperate in eating and sleep and work and recreation will come to the end of sorrow through meditation. So I like that because it's basically saying you need balance in your life. You need to work hard, play hard. You need to have good sleeping habits, not sleeping all day, not sleeping a little bit. You need to eat right, not eat too much, not eat, enough or too little, but just right. Get a few meals a day, sleep your 8 hours or 2 4-hour periods, either 5 little meals or like 2 or 3 big meals, and then work and recreation. So combine work with play. So half the time be working, half the time be playing, and then you will have no more sorrow. You will not be sad anymore. So Krishna is fucking wonderful. I think his philosophical viewpoints, I definitely welcome listening to Jesus all the fucking time. He doesn't seem to know everything. Krishna added a lot of elements to my being, which I did not know about before I started reading this. And I wonder about Buddha and some of the other ones now. But Krishna, he fucking done it for me. So meditation, that's meditation, yoga. That's me, and that's me, and I feel good about it because I feel like where there is an emptiness, I'm starting to fucking fill that void up. And good for me. I'm progressing. You know, the oppressor molesters, they always stay broken, sorrowful, fucking sad, deranged, fucked up. They have mental illness, and they're gonna have mental illness for the rest of their fucking life. Not Mr. Meditation, not Mr. Krishna listener tour, who eats right, who sleeps right, who balances work and play evenly. So good for me, right? So yeah, there's more the heart of the oppressor molesters, and a little bit about Krishna.